very wrong. It's pulling really hard to the left.
Well, Ben, my BPM got up to 141 during that session, and I think I know exactly the spot where that happened.
Yeah.
I went into turn 1 following you, broke pretty conservatively, no ABS. I think the rear's a little bit too aggressive of a compound.
You got a big rear brake.
Yep,
Yeah.
and it just went,
Yeah.
I felt like it was in a go-kart. But hey, we just went straight. Luckily it happened in a straight line, lots of runoff.
Well, Ben, I also went into turn 1 and broke.
Okay, and the car just slowed down?
No, it broke.
Broke.
Steering was kind of, yeah. I put some steering rack spacers because I'm running 265s now, and I didn't want it to contact the frame because that's how I wrecked at Road America, so I'm like trying to be super cautious. But I think my spacers were like just slightly the wrong inner diameter, and it got kinked, and it started like pulling my wheel to the left. So I'm just gonna remove the spacers and just try to have self-control to not turn the wheel enough.
Yeah, just don't drift.
Yeah, no more than one full turn, yeah.
We both made some modifications to our cars in preparation for this New Jersey Motorsports Park test event. This is not a GLTC weekend. Both of these cars have been built for GLTC, but we need to shake them down. We have a real GLTC race, my first ever, in 2 weeks at Mid-Ohio. And we just threw about 350 pounds into the MR2. It weighs 2,700 pounds right now with me in it, 2,740 to be exact.
The changes that I've made, which is a 265 front tire and a smaller rear wing, so I'm kind of doing my own testing, just kind of further refinement, while as you are doing, I'm searching for tenths, you're probably searching for full seconds.
Yes, yeah, that is the case. Right now what I figured out is I definitely need ABS. I would really like that, and I need to go to a less aggressive rear brake compound, but the car feels 100 million times better than it ever has before. We got our suspension completely redesigned, rebuilt by Fortunato. And I did a very slow 1 minute 40 lap, my first time here.
Working up to it, yeah. So far, aerodynamically, feels great at the high speeds. At the low speeds, I have some good rotation, which I kind of want. So things are looking good. The goal for this event is to turn as many laps as possible. Both Ben and I have made some major changes to our cars, so this event is the perfect opportunity to put them to the test.
Unlike in Time Attack, where the goal is to set a couple of fast laps over the course of an entire weekend, in wheel-to-wheel racing, it's just as important that we have a car that can continue to lap without mechanical issues, lap after lap after lap.
We'll see which car can turn more laps. The Civic, which has been tried and true for 3 years, or the fresh build with the MR2. Second session, car is feeling good. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with the rotation, starting to get it to have a good amount of neutral steer. I think it feels pretty good, but I'm still not pushing at the limit yet. Kind of just slowly working up to it just to make sure that we're all safe. But then my car started ignition cutting on me, or at least I think it was ignition cut. I mean, I lost all power for like an instant, and it was just kind of cutting in and out. So it also has a check engine light, and I thought that Ben's car was going to be the complete basket case this weekend, but it seems like I'm just having constant issues for some reason. But this is why we test. So obviously I didn't go any faster because I lost all power. So we're trying to figure out what that is. Hopefully it's something small. I think it might be wiring related, like a wire come loose or pull out, or the heat is torturous to these wiring harnesses. And I have had an issue before with a spark plug ignition coil pack coming loose. So it could be that, but Marco's working on it right now.
Day here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. We have done 3 sessions so far, and the car has been pretty great. We're turning laps. I think we've done over 20 laps today, folks. So that's nice. That means that the car should actually be able to complete races. We're not really competitive at all with our pace right now to what GLTC was doing here last year. They're not here this year for me to try and compare, but I think we're at least 5 seconds off pace, which is a bummer. But I have some theories. We may potentially be down on power. We need to re-dyno this thing, and it's been almost a year since we last dynoed it. So I'd love to see if we're actually making the 230 wheel that we were last time, or if maybe the power's diminished a bit and then I can add more power. It feels really nice to have a testing day and just do lots of laps and get lots of data. I've never been able to do this before. The Evo was always a 1 lap wonder. This thing, you just go out, you do the whole session, and you can just make incremental improvements. Feel like how Ben must have felt for the past 3 years with the Civic, just getting to go out and have reliable seat time. Ironically, now the Civic is built to the point where it's having issues, and then the MR2 is actually just being reliable. So this is definitely a first, but I'm sure he'll get it running, and then we can go and have some fun on track together.
Well, last session consisted of approximately 7.2 seconds long. I made it onto the pit road because as soon as I got wide open throttle, the car just cut off on me. But I did come back into the pits. We're definitely chasing some sort of electrical gremlin. Mark was just wiggling these coil pack wires and then the engine shut off. So we have found another kind of weak wire. You know, just the heat, everything over time. It's a 2 or 3 year old harness. Probably time for a new harness. Maybe I need to get an overkill harness. We'll cut the wire out, put some new wire in, and then we'll go from there. If it's still happening, then we'll keep chasing. As the first day closes out, things are still not looking too good for the Civic, but we're still working on it in hopes to have it going for day 2. It's day 2, and I'm feeling pretty good. We're about to go out for the first session, and I think we may have the Civic all figured out. Well, maybe not.
I only turned 3 laps in session 5, but this is because I've intentionally run the MRS just about out of E85. I want to switch over to 93 octane and get some more data on the car. And in the process, I get a little bit more data on New Jersey.
So why do they do, why can't you fill up your own gas in Jersey?
So like, it's like a law, and I think it's to prevent like oil, like spills and...
Oil spill?
I meant gasoline.
But every other state, everybody
So
manages.
I don't want to be the spokesperson. If I'm ever in power, I'll make sure I'll change.
Yeah, dude, once you make it to state legislature, if you could do something about this law, because once a year when I come to Jersey, it's always kind of inconvenient for me, so. Are you into cars, or you just happen to work at a racetrack? Really?
My favorite car is my 96 Corolla.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. What are you into? You're not into cars?
I'm just trying to save up. I'm trying to pursue my music career.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I make Spanish music.
You make Spanish music?
I make Spanish music. That's the great.
Like
reggaeton. Man. Just
Oh, okay.
Spanish music. You know?
I thought it was like Bad Bunny or something like that.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly what it
I
is.
see.
That's the thing of life. We're all diverse. We all do different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But music's the one thing that everyone loves music. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You love music, right?
Dua Lipa, dude.
Dua Lipa?
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
Mhm.
I don't know how you're so proud to say that in front of random people.
She's bad, dude.
Like appearance-wise?
Right? Isn't she hot?
I don't remember what she looks like.
I don't know what she looks like. I just assumed she was hot. Well, thanks, dude. Now we are going to run the car on the lower horsepower tune, the 93 octane tune. On that tune, supposedly we're making 220 wheel horsepower as opposed to 230 on E85, which means we could run less weight. What I really want to find out is how much slower is the car on 93 octane than it is on E85, and what is the fuel burn rate with 93 octane versus E85, because E85 should be a much lower fuel economy than 93. Just trying to get more data. Really interested to see like what the difference in top speed is with 93 octane versus E85 and what the overall lap time is. But we have a really good baseline, 138 flat with the E85. Let's see if we can get anywhere close to that with 93 octane, and then maybe we can take some weight out.
Unfortunately, while Ben was out turning laps in the MR2, we were still chasing the issue on the Civic.
After changing from E85 to 93 pump gas, I expected to go slower. Instead, I went faster.
So I did a 38 flat. That was on an empty tank of E85. It's the lightest car I can get with supposedly 230 horsepower. Then I filled it with 93. I saw it was an ethanol percentage of 20. Went out and did a 37.1. I was almost a full second faster.
Look how many laps you're turning, man. Compared to mine,
Yes.
11.
Feels pretty good.
So it's like for the Evo?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah, it sucks.
This is my 2020 Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, that's turn 4. That's that right-hander before it slows down. So you're committing 4 miles an hour more through that. You're braking later and just keeping a higher min speed.
Yeah.
So that's all your gain right there. So you're 9/10 up by there.
Okay.
The rest of your lap is pretty similar.
Looking like.
That's an identical trace.
Yeah.
Like the gap here versus the gap there is the same.
Right.
Again, braking later and higher min speed on entry.
So I'm not. It's not actually like in a straight line. The car's pulling the same.
Pretty much the same. Like look at this trace. Like
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
So I'm losing no horsepower on
mean-
93. I'm actually gonna take out the weight, the ballast, for this final session, just because I don't know really if there's too much else for me to sort of get data on. I just want to see the time differential. I'm just curious what the time differential is from ballast to no ballast. Okay, so the car should now be, let's see, around going down from 2740 to around 2440, roughly. So, I don't know, half a second? Out, took out all the ballast, and I didn't even go faster. I took out 300 pounds of weight. I thought I was gonna be flying. Didn't even go faster. Granted, the car is set up for the ballast, so taking all of this out made it really, really, really rear heavy, like really rotatey. And the track is pretty difficult to drive right now. But still, I thought we'd be whizzing.
I think I might have jinxed myself coming to this event because I was so sure that your car was going to be a complete basket case.
Whoa.
And well, it turns out that it was the opposite. So
Whoa.
Joke's on me. Unfortunately, I didn't really get any useful data because I wasn't able to even kind of like work up to a representative lap. So I can't really even compare like min speeds and stuff because I was still feeling it out before it started cutting out on me. I still don't even know, but I think it's just the wiring harness. It even could be the ECU. I had 1 session on track, which I think is the least amount of time I've ever had in a track weekend.
What feels pretty cool for me is that for the very first time I've owned this car, I didn't feel like it was actively trying to kill me the whole time I was driving it. I do think that there's so much time everywhere. It's completely unoptimized in every area of performance. We can fix all of these pretty easily to find half a second here, a full second here, half a second here, and then we'll get down to midfield pack speed.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, with the Civic having issues and only getting 1 full session this weekend, Ben absolutely destroyed me with the amount of laps that he was able to turn in the MR2.
The MR2, while still a very fresh build and not yet on pace, has gone from being basically undrivable at Summit Point to a highly lappable seat time car here at NJMP. The changes we made, even with shifting the weight distribution of the car, have helped make it a more predictable machine, With ABS working and brake bias modified, I'll be able to slow down the car much faster and more consistently. And more than anything, the suspension setup overhaul from Fortunato and our much more thought out setup have made the car a pleasure to drive.
We both were on Fortunatos. They were great for the
I had
laps
no
returned.
problems with my Fortunatos. Discount code in the description below.
How about that?
Well, the next time that you see these two cars together, it'll be door to door. Probably in dead last and second to dead last.
I don't know, you're doing pretty good in your first weekend. so.
We'll see if I can even get Al on track, because I have a wiring harness to change, and we
Yeah.
only have like 2 weeks until the next event.